Hey everybody, welcome back to part 2 of Majora's Mask. After a rousing game of racist hide-and-seek, we're going to now find our way to see what these little brats were hiding. All the way back around in Western Clock... Eastern Clocktown, that's right.
Western Cocktown.
It's my stash of cigarettes.
Yeah. We have to review the leader of the Bombers Club, or what are they called again?
Bombers.
The Bombers. We've established that the leader is actually like a 40-year-old small dude.
So it's like, what, he's Peter Pan and the rest of these are kids he abducted? Yeah, Majora's Mask kind of had like the similar thing for me too. Like, I didn't understand the rules at first either.
Yeah.
So I was like, whatever. Then but I kept persevering through it. Eventually I learned like the tricks of the trade. Did so, found out I had missed about like 50% of the game shit.
Yes, same.
So then I went back through it again with the guy. I was like, oh, I could do this, and this, and oh, I didn't know I could do that.
I'm reading the guide,
and then it was like,
and it's like this
it
game
enriches
is
double fold.
I'm looking at I'm reading the guide, like, because I'm like sometimes I like to read the last page first with certain things to see how it ends. But I'm also realizing, like, this game is just nothing but side quests, isn't it? I was like, yeah, because, like, once we get past the initial 3-day cycle, I love this area, by the way.
Oh, the observatory.
Once you get past the initial 3-day cycle and you get your human form back, the game is just like, yeah, so you have an objective, you know what it is, but now it's just all fucking side quests and character development.
Yeah.
Shit that you don't even really need to do. Because if you want to, you can just beeline through the 4 major temples. Yeah, 4, by the way. There's only 4 temples in this game.
Which is a hilarious story.
Yeah.
For me.
If you want, you can just beeline through everything to the bare minimum, and you can finish this game in about 4 or 5 hours, like casually speaking. But
if you know what the fuck you're doing.
That's not that's one way of playing it. I don't believe it's the intended way of playing it.
Yeah, just
the intended way. This is one of those games where I argue 100% or bust. Like, I don't think it's as satisfying to just any percent this shit.
Right.
Like, you have to do everything in this game because that is the most you get out of this.
If you play it too linear, you'll end up thinking there's not a lot to do.
Yes.
The first game...
If you play it like a traditional Zelda game, you're going to realize things aren't adding up. Like, as satisfying as which, to be fair, that is a critique against this game, and I think it's a fair critique. You know, because it holds the Zelda name, it follows up Ocarina at a time.
Yeah.
It doesn't exactly cater to the expectations I'd imagine folks had around this time, especially after, because Ocarina of Time was, Ocarina of Time.
It's still one of the greatest games
Yeah.
ever made. Even if, like, I said it back in the Let's Play with Elliot tried to just badmouth it.
I did badmouth it.
Yes, you did. Anyway, you may not agree it's one of the greatest in modern taste, but you will sort of some respect on that game's
It
name.
has aged. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
Like,
it deserves the respect
Yeah.
that it gets, and it deserves its legacy, but when you look at it from a modern take, it has aged. There are aspects of it that are...
But again, I still prefer it sometimes because of its simplicity now compared to modern
Yeah,
games.
yeah.
It's nice to be able to
because there's something to be said about, like, other games in the series after, like mainline games anyway, that they have that one or two things that just like I'm gonna go back to Ocarina, and like for Wind Waker that was the sailing.
Yeah.
Twilight Princess, it was the length, and it was because this is just Ocarina of Time again.
Yeah.
But with a much better Navi. And Skyward Sword, I mean, that is a whole other set of issues.
I really think that Skyward Sword's two big problems are the motion controls, and
Fee.
because they were just kind of okay. Fee was annoying, but I found Fee to be more annoying than someone like Navi, but,
It is
what it is.
It was the
I mean, if anything, the thing with Fee or Fi, whatever the hell her name was,
I think it's
Fee,
yeah,
the thing that bothered me was that
Fee.
half of the time she said something, it was about my batteries.
Yeah.
And I'm like, don't tell me about my batteries. So I solved that problem by just, having good batteries. And the other problem was just the revisiting. Like, that was
that goes into the world, the structure of the game.
Yeah,
I think is not fun.
Fuck
at
you.
all.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the Deku isn't very particularly popular with certain animals. That dog there will just straight up attack Deku Link no matter what he does.
Deku Link's got it rough,
He does.
in the first few days of this cycle. You know,
nobody wants to talk to him. He can't play anything, and we're stuck waiting for this until midnight. So let's go kill some time. Oh shit, we better kill some time in the fastest way possible.
Is time one of the characters?
we're gonna kill that time.
No, we're killing some time, so it's multiple characters.
What did time do to you?
Are we going to do crimes?
Yeah.
All right. Good, we gotta
So
kill.
I just
We're
imagine
gonna do the
someone
crime of killing the time.
someone handing Deku Link a gun. It's like, go do a crime.
But it's like the coconut gun from the Donkey Kong.
From Donkey Kong, yeah. You gotta keep it rated
gotta
That's
be
G.
Dr.
thematic.
Pepper
Yeah.
sponsorship.
Okay, so Matt's doing the minigame now.
Of course. This
Okay.
is, I got nothing else to do for a few nights.
Yeah. So
Also, can I cheese suck real quick?
yeah.
Oh,
What's
no.
up?
I was hoping to set up the timer frame there.
The illusions.
Yeah.
ruined. The ZR.
ZR?
Yeah. Hit a. There we go. Yeah, we're literally. That's nice picture.
The other one.
yeah.
Upload that picture later.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
the other one.
What is happening?
Trying to go, hold on.
Time out.
Hold on.
What are you
Today's
trying
thing is
to do?
Matt can't see the fucking buttons. We want to create a
just-
suspend point.
Yeah,
I guess.
just for now, just so
Yeah,
I can
yeah.
have, just in case I.
So we have to keep doing this. Yeah.
Because remember, folks, we are also live, and
We're live. We're let's playing, and we got shit to do.
The illusion is broken.
So this is a mini game you can only play as Deku Link because
Yep.
you can only get here as Deku Link in the first place. And this is pretty simple. Like all things considered, you're literally just using the flower petal to float onto a platform and collect the rupees. If you fall down, I think it resets the game.
yeah.
But you are essentially just aiming for the platforms and then just going about your merry business. Every side quest, if not rewarding you a mask, rewards you a piece of heart. This game has the most pieces of heart in any Zelda game, by virtue of like it being like the main reward for every side quest, and there's a lot of side quests in this game. Because there being only 4 major dungeons in Majora's Mask, you might be thinking, well, hell, hold on a second. If there's only 4 major dungeons, that means I can only increase my max health by 4 hearts at the end of every boss. I was
Yeah.
like, well, yeah. So you have to make up the rest with side quests, and that is
You have to become part of the world.
You have to, yeah.
That's actually one of the big themes in this game here. It's like somewhat like rebuilding Link, the young Link, into being the adult he's supposed to be.
Yeah. Termina is defined, and it lavishes in its characters and its setting. And I will argue, even today, although I haven't played Tears of the Kingdom yet, at the time of this recording, still has the best cast of characters in any Zelda game. Just in terms of just like their quirkiness, their personalities, and their arcs. As we will see throughout this game multiple times at that, because sometimes we have to do more than once. Looking at you, Andrew, and Capit.
Oh boy.
But
Yeah, we're gonna be meeting them pretty early too.
yeah.
Dude, that's a strange name for a Deku scrub. You're on
Yeah.
sorry.
What happened to dongs?
No, I was dude, wasn't I?
No. No. Actually, what was Matt's name in Ocarina?
Dong.
Of Time?
Well,
It was dongs.
No,
it's,
was it
always,
Dong?
it's usually dongs.
No, but here's the thing, though. That Dongs was the hero of the future timeline.
Hold
now we're
on.
back in the past.
Hold on, now I'm checking.
But so the mini games. I'm not saying that all mini games are like this, but most mini games you can replay multiple times in different day cycles. So Matt played the day 1 mini game.
Right.
When he comes back day 2, it's going to be a more difficult challenge. If you win all 3 days, you get the piece of heart.
So we could try to do something different,
Yeah.
but without a sword,
Um,
I can't go.
Okay,
now
so-
I'm sort of stuck.
so in Ocarina of Time, it was dude,
Yeah.
but you spelled it wrong in this one.
No, but he's a
It's
grown.
du-
but
it's
he,
double
but
O.
he's grown. He's grown.
I've grown.
Yeah, he's grown. He was fucking changed up a little bit.
Well, he was a secret agent in
Yeah.
the other one, so he was double O.
So he was guy.
In this one, he looks like a tree, so he's ew.
Yeah. You know, he was Guy, G-U-Y, in the first game. This one, he's G-A-I. He's still Guy. He's just spelled differently, you know? So, if you couldn't tell by now, like, you're wondering, it's like, all right, so, it's a Zelda game. We have a day and night cycle. We have a timer. Like, what are we doing here? Like, so the first 3 days of our adventure here is essentially, it's a makeshift tutorial.
Yeah.
Not just on Deku
Controls.
Link, but everything about this game's world.
Yeah.
And a big thing about Majora's Mask, like it or not, is multitasking.
Yes.
Um,
Oh yeah.
you can, if you really want to, and I admit I used to be like this too when my first few playthroughs, which is probably why I didn't play it as much. I was committed to doing one specific task for a 3-day cycle, and then I would reset the clock. But then I realized this is grossly inefficient. Things are taking way too long because I'm doing it this way. So, Majora's Mask will challenge you on how well you can multitask different quests while still remaining in the 3-day cycle you are, because there are going to be some things that you can only do at a specific time of the day.
There's also some things you can only do during one specific cycle because
Yes.
what you do in one cycle is going to affect the other.
Yes. And then we'll get into how this all ties together, like, eventually when we get to, like, the big turning point of the, like, first hour of this game. But
He's also a racist.
make no mistake, you will need to learn how to essentially micromanage a couple of things. Not everything. I'm not saying, like, you need to get out the fucking Excel sheet,
I did.
you know? But you will be doing multiple things at once just to either progress or just to be as efficient as possible with getting side quests completed.
Yeah.
However, if you do not just want to stand around and wait for the clock to shift, there are ways to fast forward it. And that is, you can do it as early as this with this dude, the Scarecrow, which you might remember from Ocarina of Time. He's the one who taught you the Scarecrow song.
No, more like you gave him the Scarecrow song. He remembered
Right.
it. And then afterwards, he pretty much served as a hookshot target. He'll
Yeah.
do that again here, but it's a little more situational this time around.
Yeah.
Anyway, welcome to day 2.
Do you want to learn my song of fear? oh, wrong Scarecrow. Wrong Scarecrow.
Also, the moon gets ever so closer, little by little,
Yeah.
each and every day. By the way, we didn't really show that off either. So, we're talking about our experiences with the game, but we're not talking about the game, which is more
We
for
got
us.
plenty of time to talk about the game, though. That's what it is. Like, I
I know. We got like another, 48 hours?
48 hours, I want to say, yeah. Before the world ends.
Hi there.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's your Armageddon.
Oh, wait. Hold on. Look back up. It's
What do you think?
It's like it knows it's running on you. It's
gross.
It's got a
So
cold.
let's have a talk right now, real fast, while we look at
Yeah.
this fella.
It's
Absolutely.
got a cold.
3DS moon or this moon?
3DS.
3DS Moon.
You think the 3DS moon?
I think the 3DS Moon has better detail in the right places.
Yes.
And I like its grimace. Don't get me wrong, like the original model is still also just as menacing too. Either way, like you hate looking at it. It's
Yeah.
because it's also like Jesus Christ.
And it's getting closer.
And it's getting closer.
It's
You know,
closer.
It's purple?
There, no.
No.
Oh, you said grimace.
Oh no,
Sorry.
no.
God damn it.
I meant like the facial grimace.
I thought it was
I
a
wonder
big
if there's like
purple,
a Ronald.
grimace.
You made me wonder if there's like a Ronald McDonald mod of this, where you play as Ronald McDonald, and the 3 masks are Horace, Grimace, and that Nugget chick. Was it?
Birdie?
No, Birdie was a bird.
Birdie
yeah.
was a Birdie was a bird.
Hey, wait. Wait. Who the fuck is Horace?
the Hamburglar.
The Egyptian god.
Yeah,
it was a fucking- you didn't know he was a McDonald's mascot?
You didn't know?
Yeah.
It was Ronald.
No one talks about that.
He was Raw for short,
Yeah.
but his full name was Ronald.
Yeah. No one talks about that.
I'd argue this one here is the hardest of the 3 because now you got to worry about the horizontal movement.
The outer platforms, I would think, are the hardest ones. I think it's good that you're going after them first because they move the fastest. But yeah, this is level 2 of this mini game, and it's all horizontal movement. But as you can see, you got to be pretty precise with your landing. It's generally pretty easy to get a general feel for it.
You can do something smart.
Oh, what's that? And not play the game at all?
There's that, yeah, but you know,
Oh, just let the platforms
Yeah,
go
let the
under you.
platforms
let the
There you go.
platforms come to you.
Yeah,
You know what? That makes sense.
There you go. Big brain.
because I think
Tiny mask.
Oh no.
correct me if I'm wrong, and because it's been a bit since I played this minigame myself. If you remain stationary while floating, Link hangs in the air longer.
He'll
the
hang
moment-
indefinitely, but moving will take it. See what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh.
You might want to try and save this. Yeah, just reset your thing because you still have plenty of time. Yeah, you still
No, I
have
don't.
got it. No, you still got fucking. Oh, that's right.
115.
115. All right, so this could be playing pretty close to the chest. You also did not load a save point.
Create a suspend point.
Yeah.
Same difference.
Ooh! Wow. All right, Matt, you got one
You
shot.
gotta go.
You got one shot.
go.
Here we go. Here we go. Fucking pro gamer here. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Oh no! I think at that point,
You
Elliot,
fucked it!
you, do a smash cut, Elliot, like in the middle of that shout.
Yeah.
And then we'll cut to that.
Oh shit!
That's
Time out.
successful. Time. Oh, what's up?
Give myself a cramp.
Oh, one of those fucking Deku mini game cramps that you get.
Oh, fuck. Are you good?
I fucked up. Here comes the seizures.
Shit! Intermission.
Oh, it's just the blue one
Here we
left.
go. Yeah, just the one left. He's gonna launch out here. You just gotta wait because you do fall very slowly, so there is time to just adjust. And there you
And
go.
that's it.
Poggies.
Sorry about that
That's
little
day
break there,
two.
ladies
Yeah,
and
just
gentlemen.
the fucking Matt almost died.
What break? no break happened that we're aware of.
Fuck, you see this guy in a bar smoking a cigar. I knew a minigame that almost killed me.
You think you've got it rough.
Let me tell you the story of fucking throws the bonfire like smoke, or like the
Apparently
story of
time
Nancy
is-
Nutella and the leg cramp.
Playing Majora.
But he's telling the story like he was on the adventure,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
halfway through, someone realizes, wait, were you playing a video game?
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, but that's a twist. At that point, the guy reveals himself as Matt. Like,
Yeah.
It's like a
And
it's like one of those old Sicily stories.
and like
with Golden
between
Girls.
between that moment and the story he told, he now just has a bionic leg. And it's like the most hardcore shit, but it's also like you got that from playing Majora.
I haven't heard
there's-
anything that corny since that kid who hurt himself playing Jeopardy.
So no, this is years later. I got hit by a car.
Yeah,
I was
it's
just telling you a
unrelated,
different story,
yeah.
yeah. It's completely unrelated.
But you know what? I kind of wish it was like that now.
Now this beggar here is the bank. Basically, Link decides to use the unfathomable power of time to commit bank fraud.
Yeah, it's,
And let's be
it's
real,
really
it's
weird.
pretty much like, you
So-
know, the bank's kind of asking for it here. Ultimately, what happens is you get a stamp on your head that says how many rupees you got.
Yeah.
That transfers over cycles. So ultimately, all he'll see is that stamp, and rather than, you know, have an individual account from you, he'll go into the giant savings pot that probably everybody uses, and then takes out their rupees in your name.
Jesus.
So that, I mean, so it's like he's got like a Roth IRA basically. He
A
donates
Roth
money.
IRA,
and
I'm playing fucking
he donates money and he gets to take it out later tax free. This is kind of interesting.
This is straight up fucking Enron or Wells Fargo shit.
Yeah, but a big thing about this game, as
Is a leg cramp.
we'll see, besides that, when you travel back in time, you lose all your shit outside of your personal items.
Yeah, basically quest and special items. I mean, quest items like that deed I got.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
But heart
And rupees.
containers, rupees. Oh, rupees too. They go.
Not heart containers, but rupees, especially, will leave. Like you will be back to
Yeah.
zero. So this is why you use the bank. And how the bank works essentially is that you deposit any number of rupees you want into the bank, and then the beggar stamps your hand. I'm assuming it's the amount that you had in there.
Now your hand, your head.
And
But apparently he's also invisible Link, so
Yeah.
this ain't making any sense. But I guess we want to draw
so, and it's
for that.
because of that special stamp that they give you. When you reset time, they still recognize you.
Right.
And you're able to like withdraw the rupees that you deposit in there. It serves the gameplay more than anything else, because if you think about it too hard, it's like, yeah, I think Link is just
Yeah.
committing
Hell-
bank fraud.
It is
Hello,
bank fraud.
sir.
Yeah.
I can see that you deposited 200 rupees 2 days from now. That can't be right.
Because it's like, hey, is it like you showed him the stamp, and it's like,
Oh, what's up?
No. Greg made me think of that Mitch Hedberg joke about cameras, where he's like, Mitch Hedberg's like, here's a picture of me when I'm younger, and Mitch is like, every picture is of you when you were younger. Here's a picture of me when I'm older. You son of a bitch! How did you do that? You can do that in this game with a pictograph. Here's a picture of me here's a picture of me 2 days from now. What the fuck? You can probably, that's some existential ass horror, Greg. Take a picture of something that happens to somebody like 2 days from now. Like, say for example, we could take a picture of, let's say, Sakan robbing the old lady here, and then we'll show it to her in 3 days. And then afterwards, she'll be like, wait, I mean, like, we'll show her that earlier in the day. She'll be like,
Wait
what
a
the
minute.
fuck?
Wasn't that a Goosebumps story? Say
Say
cheese and die. Yeah. Wasn't that the entire premise about it?
I
Yeah.
think so, yeah.
Yeah, you get a picture taken from the haunted camera, and it shows you like how you're gonna get hurt or die, and then it happens, and then you have to find a way to like reverse it. I haven't thought of Goosebumps in so long.
Well, there's a new show or movie.
Oh,
or
is
something.
there?
Disney Plus, yeah.
Really?
Is it
I
Disney Plus?
It's Disney Plus.
I'm more of a haunting
With
guy.
Justin Long.
Yeah,
I think
Justin
it's
Long's in
I
it.
think Justin Long is in it.
When I was growing up, like the two major like horror centric like things I used to watch was Are You Afraid of the Dark and Goosebumps.
Yep. Both Canadian shows.
Really?
Yeah.
I watched Tales from the Crypt because it was a
Really?
different time
Tales
back
of the
then.
Crypt,
Yeah.
Tales of the Dark
And-
Side.
Tales from,
yes.
Tales from the Hood.
There's that too.
Anyone,
I was
I
kind
remember Tales from the
of
Hood.
weird about that, because like Tales from the Script, like when it actually got to the stories themselves, I remember like being weirded out about them because it was like it was effectively horror.
They're
But-
real horror.
But
That's
when
like actual
but when he
horror.
would cut to the Crypt Keeper and he's telling stories, like I'm laughing because I'm a kid
Yeah.
and this guy's making funny noises.
Well, I mean, horror always had that weird crossover. I mean,
Yeah.
Freddy Krueger was a comedy character.
Yeah,
in a
well,
sense.
especially by like the fourth.
that
movie.
wasn't until around the fourth, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like by the fourth movie, this guy's straight up fucking Looney Tunes, and he literally does Looney Tunes as things in the sixth movie.
Yeah.
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 I had a brain fart for a split second here. I just wandered around the town while you guys were talking.
The fucking story ends in Tales from the Crypt, and then it goes back to the Crypt Keeper. Have you ever just shitted your whole ass?
No Crypt Keeper, why do you ask?
No.
No reason.
Is that how you died? I'm still trying to figure this one out.
I wonder what happened to that Billy Zane guy.
You do sit a lot. You don't get up much.
We're going to open up this demon core.
Don't show him wrestling.
I'm tired. I'm old. And I work with fucking children.
But enough about the fabulous Moolah. How about you?
That
God!
That sounds like Crypt Keeper CM Punk. Let's see what happens. All right, so Matt used the Scarecrow once again to advance to the final day of the 3-day cycle. And as you can tell, just from the music alone, hey, that moon is getting really fucking close. Because fun fact, that moon moves in real time.
Yep.
It does actively get closer to the town the more time progresses, and it's pretty terrifying.
Oh, yeah.
And it should be said, folks are aware of the moon falling. Like, it's not as if they're
everyone's
looking-
actually looking up at it.
They
Yeah.
basically know they're gonna die, but they don't leave.
Most have. That's the thing. Like,
No, they will at the end of the third
yeah,
day.
yeah,
Okay.
So you get some time to do a few things at Milk Road by day 3.
yeah.
It just reminds me of those posts that you see on Twitter. Like, it's just like this entire earth-shattering things happening. What are you doing in this situation?
I don't know. Die.
Fucking hanging at the Costco.
I want a picture of Sephiroth talking to Skull Kid. It's like, how did you do it in 3 days?
It
took me like a week.
Fucking Meteor took 7 for me.
Yeah.
And then Skull gets just like, well, buddy, I don't suck.
Safe point.
You're right. We are cheesing this a bit with create points here, not really because, of lack of skill per se. It's just that
We got
gotta,
shit to do.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
gotta keep it moving.
Plus,
You know?
they,
Gotta keep
you're just saving time.
Also,
you
it's
could have done
it's
the mini game again.
It's thematically appropriate.
yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You're playing your own
Yeah,
song of
you're
time.
right.
Yeah.
If the game tells me that I'm allowed to screw with time, then I'm gonna do it.
Honestly, day 3 is actually kind of the easiest one.
Yeah.
The easier one, in my opinion.
It's a mixed
Yeah.
match between the first 2 challenges.
Because
but
some of them just go up and down.
Yeah. But this ultimately ends up for an easier day because, like, the vertical platforms are nothing. They're really easy to land on.
the only
Yeah.
thing I think can honestly screw you up badly is the shakes.
Yeah, the
Day
shakies,
3, you
yeah.
now have the moon shake effects because, hey, you're about to die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that could probably throw some players at first. You know
So-
what? You know what? There's a sound effect that fucks with me in Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
I thought you were gonna say Tales from the Crypt.
Yeah.
It was Tears of the Kingdom, right? The new one that came out.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
forgot.
Yeah.
I briefly forgot the name of it, and even though I just spent like a month playing it, Ganon ban my ass.
Oh no.
Whoa.
Good shit. That's
Anyway,
it.
that's it.
that's
And
the
once
last
you
one?
do all 3,
Actual
they
first try.
forbid you from playing it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
you get a
because
hard
he
container.
thinks it's like you're too good. You're gonna run me dry.
much.
So you cannot. Yeah, it's dude. Hi. So you cannot play that minigame ever again. But once you get the piece of heart, there's no reason to.
Yep.
No, you can always get a free 50 rupees.
There are better ways of getting rupees though in this game.
Oh,
So
absolutely.
can you still go back and play it on day 1 and 2?
Yeah.
Yes, because
Okay.
you reset time.
Okay, yeah.
So it's like you never met them before.
Now this here is Tingle,
Yeah.
a 35-year-old man cosplayer. Everybody laughs at him and everybody thinks he's creepy. It's just a look in the mirror.
Here's the thing though. Tingle in his debut game. This is his debut game.
Yep.
Not bad at all in this.
He is also a massive smoker. Look at that
Yeah, I
hole.
know. Look at that hole in the bottom. It's actually his beard, but it looks like it
this
looks
is
like
the
a
guy
giant
that
hole.
sells the cigarettes to the other kid.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh,
And somehow
boy.
he's younger than the kid. But yeah, so this is the game to introduce Tingle, and when we talk about Tingle, everyone is almost always bringing up his Wind Waker incarnation, which fair because Wind Waker Tingle is a piece of shit.
Yeah, seriously, fuck him.
But Majora's Mask is where he debuted, and you know what? It's not bad.
All he does is just a map
gives you a
maker.
map. Yeah, he just gives you a map.
You know what's sad to think about with
What's that?
Tingle? This is Link's future if Navi doesn't show up.
We see
He
Tingle and it's the
pretends to
Don't
be
be
a
a Tingle
Kokiri because he wants a fairy, and he gets to the point where he gets a
He's
little
got one of them.
delusional.
Yeah.
This is Link if he doesn't get a fairy, if Navi doesn't show up.
Be better, Link.
Oh, man, you got to have a hobby.
Okay, I think we're
We are done with pretty much this cycle as it is because we are so limited by our constraints.
Yeah.
That being said, we are going to do one other thing since we got time. Pardon the pun.
No, absolutely. I think we'll end the session after you finish this thing up, and then afterwards we'll start a new session as we're getting ready to.
There you go. Drop some money in your 401k.
Yeah, there you go. Being smart.
Yeah, that's going to be one thing we're going to hate doing live.
Having a 401k, or
I said we didn't need the Excel sheet. Goddammit.
No, you remember one of the hard pieces we got to get is you got to give him 5,000 rupees.
Right throughout the course of the game, but you can do that. But
you can do that by
you can
butchering a
farm.
bird.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that still means you got to farm the bird.
Yeah. I mean, but still, it's direct. It just takes time.
Oh, why the fuck did you talk to me, asshole? So let's dance to the dance tonight.
And this van 6 hours was it?
Yeah.
Or,
No, 12.
Yeah. No, 12 hours. Yeah. Sorry. There are other ways to advance the clock in different side quests.
Yeah, there's an old woman who will tell you stories that'll put you to sleep.
Yeah.
There's a reason for that, but she's actually some interesting backstory to the game too.
Yeah, she's how you get lore out of Clock Town. Or just Termina in general, I want to say, or just Clock Town.
Isn't there a way to do it instead of 12-hour increments, just 6-hour increments?
I think no. The grandma could do 2 hours. I think in the 3DS version, you can alter how much time you want to spend on the Song of Change time. Now.
There's a slider, I think.
Yeah.
That you can just adjust. Yeah,
but you have to confess that adds another level of existential horror. Can you imagine like the player like trying to choose between day 1 and day 3 of where the hell he want to go, and the moon just like comes in and out, in and out, in and out.
I'm getting sick.
Moon comes down, moon comes up, moon comes down, moon comes up, and Majora's looking like, wow, that's impressive.
Make up your fucking mind!
No, dude, it's like fucking The Simpsons when Homer's having the chili high.
Yeah.
It's like sunrise.
Now I know some of you are probably saying in the comments, you could do something with that deed right now, right? I'm like, yes, I do. But I'm saving that particular item, that particular heart piece for the next run.
Yeah.
Or next cycle.
Also, we're going back to the bank.
Yep. You can come in here only on day 3 when everybody else is evacuated.
Yeah.
It's a cheap 100 rupees. You can easily... let me start over. It's a cheap 100 rupees, and it goes right to the bank, so you have a nice little nest egg to start with on your adventures.
I think let's start over.
Let
me start over. We're live, pal.
No.
You know you could do something with that deed, right? Yeah.
Shut the fuck up.
I was like, what? Yeah, I wipe my ass with it.
I can mind my business.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah. So just to go quickly into this real quick while we still have time. So
we can just reset.
As we're entering Clock Town, we're now in like this parallel world of Termina.
Yep.
We're not exactly sure where this exists in the world of Zelda, well, this incarnation of Zelda anyway. We're not sure if it's like a different dimension or is it just an underground world, that sort of thing, because we fell a long way to get here in the first place. But as we're arriving, they're doing this festival, and everything's pretty much good to go, but unfortunately this is when that fucking moon shows up. And now folks, especially the town committee, or the leader of the town committee, refuses to move or leave because he thinks that it's all hoax.
Which has some really disturbing modern day.
That aged like a fine wine, I have to say. But a lot of folks are kind of like they see this thing as like, we need to get the fuck out of here because this thing is going to crash right into the town and everyone's gonna die. Not realizing that fucking the moon falling kills everything in Termina. Like Termina, everything is gone.
Yeah.
Yep.
Everything's gone when you lose the moon.
Yeah. So with some folks, they handle it different ways. Some folks are like they're angry about it. They're in denial. With like the committee town member, like he refuses to
The only
leave.
people who don't care are the bombers.
Yes.
And honestly, I think it's because in some supplementary material they're all orphans.
Yeah.
Well, no, not all of them. The only one I think that may have actual parents is the gatekeeper right here, because he'll say his parents have a mask like your couple's mask.
Yeah.
By the way, that's like the biggest ripoff of an endgame prize ever. But we got nothing to do now here for another 3 hours.
Yeah. So
Not in real time, thank God. Greg would fucking hate us.
Yeah. I was gonna say, like, what are you guys doing?
I'm ordering food.
Yeah.
Fucking Skull Kid's like talking to the mask, like, you don't expect us to use the moon, do you?
All right. Well,
I
assuming,
did.
Stutter?
assuming
miss it?
there's
The
nothing
moon
else,
is going to fall in 3 days.
assuming
Would
there's-
you like the fast forward time? 4 days, please.
assuming there's nothing else to do, let's call it a part here, and then we'll reconvene in part 3 as we're getting ready to reach the turning point of our first opening session of Majora's Mask.
You guys can do that. I'm going to hide in here.
Absolutely.
Hopefully
Take
my
care
leg
of your
won't hurt.
Yeah, I was
oh,
gonna
shit.
say.
And we'll see you guys in a few.
Is that your alarm?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, my cramp alarm.
The moon is falling.
We noticed some odd muscle. Yeah, I know. Get out of here.